Hi everyone, Simon here on Friday the 3rd of November. Just want to take you through where we go this weekend with the weather. I know many of you got bonfire parties arranged, and I've been talking about this change in the weather coming up in the middle of the month, which I have to say is not being picked up particularly by the models at the moment. It's not exactly building my confidence in the forecast, but still, let's try and see what's going to go on, or what it looks like is happening at the moment. Okay, so these are the charts from the Met Office, and this is from westwind.ch. This is the forecast chart for 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, and low pressures over the southwest of France. We've got this warm front look that's moving onto eastern coast of the country, just a weak cold front across the northeast, and a ridge of high pressure across Ireland and Scotland. I think some mist and fog patches for Scotland and Ireland, not really moving far during the day on Saturday with that ridge in and some very light winds, but it's going to be down in the southeast corner through the Midlands that we start off misty, murky, foggy as well. But then an increasing risk of drizzle coming in as that warm front moves in during the course of the day. So that front will be tracking its way westwards, and really I think anywhere from kind of Newcastle down to kind of Bristol, east of that sort of line. So in this area here, increasingly damp through the day and increasingly cloudy. I think outbreaks of drizzle and light rain, misty, murky, cold as well, with an increasing northerly wind. For Scotland, northwest England, probably Wales, southwest England and Ireland, yes, there'll be some mist and murk around, but I think that probably lifts and clears, and then sunny spells come through, and it looks like it should be a generally dry day and probably a dry evening as well. Into Sunday, and that front kind of just hanging around across East Anglia and southern England. A murky old day, I suspect, across East Anglia, southern parts of the country. Ridge of high pressure in through Ireland, Wales and northern England, bringing better conditions there. But again, could be some mist and fog patches around in the morning, which could be slow to clear, particularly given all the smoke and muck from the bonfire parties. I think really it could be a real misty, murky one to start the day, with some dense fog across much of England, Wales and also Ireland and southern Scotland. Increasing breeze though across northwest Scotland, tending to break up the cloud there. So what happens as we get a little bit further ahead? Well, let me just show you how things develop here on the GFS model from Weather Online. Here's the time in the top left hand corner here, look. This is for Friday morning. Now just watch what happens as we go through the weekend into next week. Here's our warm front look for Saturday, just coming onto eastern coast of the country through East Anglia in the southeast. Not really picking up much at all, because it is only going to be light drizzle across the southeastern corners, and elsewhere dry with this ridge of high pressure building in. Now into Sunday, that front look, it's still there across the southeast corner, still got this ridge through Ireland and through most of the north of the country. So as I said, I think we're still looking at mist and murk around during that time as the ridge builds through during Sunday. And then into the early part of next week, the high pressure stays there, so another misty, murky, foggy start perhaps for much of northern parts of the country during Monday, and potentially for Wales, Western Scotland and Ireland, where that could be particularly dense. It will lift though, and it looks like we've got a dry day with that ridge of high pressure staying with us. Now through Tuesday, look, the flow goes more into the southeast. A dry day on Tuesday, less risk of mist and fog, and becoming milder too. But here comes low pressure, look, in from the Atlantic as we get through in towards the middle to the end part of next week. You can see it bringing in this rain into the west, the east tending to stay dry, but then the rain does spread eastwards as we get through in towards Friday. Things becoming more unsettled through the weekend, with hints of an area of low pressure becoming dominant across the country into next weekend, perhaps bringing some very unsettled conditions and the risk of some heavy outbreaks of rain. Now, this again builds my thoughts of a change in conditions, because this is what we'd expect to see before high pressure builds in. So I don't think the models have particularly got this down to the day correctly, but I do think this idea of it turning very unsettled back end of next week into the weekend before, and I still think it before we see a build of pressure into the middle part of the month. It's still on the cards. We'll wait and see what happens over the weekend. I expect to be able to firm up more on this, but I'm still going to go for that change in conditions. Okay, this site is kept free of charge by the adverts that you can see around the screen here. If you see an advert you like, do click on it, go through to the advertiser, and that tells them that you like the site and you like the products that they're advertising as well. As always, do keep the sun shining, and have a great weekend, and I hope that that's forecast has been useful for you. Thanks for watching.